Welcome. On this video, I'm going to be showing you the two drills that totally changed my running technique and helped me get faster and more explosive. Okay. And it's really focused on those first 5 meters or the first even 5 steps of your takeoff. Okay. And if you think about rugby, so much of it is in those first explosive 5 steps or even 3 steps that gets you taking off. Right. And it's what allowed me to actually take off faster and be able to go in and away on people and just gave a whole new element to my game. And that now I want to teach it to you. So it was actually Matty Gonz who got me to do these 2 exercises. And if you want to know the backstory is he kept getting injuries in his rec fems and his hamstrings and all these little injuries that was like out of nowhere. And, we always wanted to work on his running technique, and I wasn't a sprint coach. I hadn't done that work yet. And it was actually this which made me want to go and do it so I could teach more rugby players, better technique for them so they could be, one, faster, but also two, reduce injuries. Okay, so these are the two drills. Okay, so before I show you these two techniques, if you could please press like on this video, share it with your friends, share my page, my content. It really helps me out, get to more rugby players, because that's my goal. I want to get out to more rugby players, help them out as much as I can. Okay, so here's Matt Gonzalez, the man, Australian Sevens player currently. He was not Australian Sevens at this time, but obviously now he is. And it was his journey getting there. It was we had to fix his speed. So here's one drill. Okay, so this one you can do pretty much anywhere. And I find it like it really changed me. It really changed how I hit the floor, because originally, when you learn to run, like you just get taught to, run fast, move your limbs fast. And if you don't have some sort of like little athletics background or anything like that, you don't really get taught to hit the ground, how to strike the ground, how to use your feet like springs. And that made the biggest difference for me. And I know it made a difference for Matt, and, not tearing his rec fems. Because what happened was he became so strong, so powerful that his technique didn't allow him to be as fast as what he could be. And like, when that happens, things start to fall apart. And it was his rec fems that kept tearing. And there was just a big overstride. He wasn't pulling down his foot fast enough. And once he fixed that, it was amazing results. Okay, so this is Matt chatting. He's talking it through. This is on for all my sprint technique, guys. Anyone on my programs and my sprint program, this is here because this is so important. All right, is bring the knee up. All right, we bring the knee up. All right, and you're going to slam that knee down. Okay, like that's not the only part of the process, but what you want is for that part of the foot, that mid part of the foot, to be hitting the floor. Okay, and I've done it in other videos. If you want to go back to other videos, I've showed. I was showing where your foot should be landing. Okay, and everyone's slightly different, but what we want to do is get that foot down hard to the ground. Okay, and what you do is walk around the house. Right, you can walk around anywhere. You can get your knees up, bang, and then what you do is slam that ball down. Slam the ball of your foot down. Okay, and you want to feel for the front of the foot. All right, we don't want to feel for the heel. Right, and as you get better, you can actually do it a bit faster and you get better at it. And what you see here is actually what a lot of people do is they don't point their toes up. See those toes pointing up? A lot of people will point that toe down. All right, and that means it's way less efficient. The calf has to do too much work. You don't really get that spring effect that we want. All right, Matt talks about the posture and getting the breath into the chest. All right, so that one really did help me. All right, here's the second one that really helped me. Obviously, Matt's holding behind. Okay, but you can do this. You don't have to do this with someone. It's really good if you have a band doing it with someone. Yeah, you can also use like a weight behind you, so you can use a light sled, or you can, I use a rope and chain sometimes with some people if they don't, depending on what they've got. Okay, and what you're doing is sprinting. Okay, so you're sprinting, and what this does is that weight pulling me back makes me get up onto my toes here. Right, makes me hit that midfoot, makes me drive down. I have to hit the floor hard to be able to pull him forward. Okay, and this was actually the first time that we really practiced these and filmed it. And the practice of filming it and then going and reviewing these is part of the secret. It's like if you actually film it and review it, you can actually see what you need to improve on. Okay, and what you can see here is my right foot stride is actually really good, but my left, if I just pause that here, my left was actually landing a little bit too far behind me. Okay, so I wasn't getting anywhere near as much power as what I possibly could have out of my left. Okay, so I was pushing more off my right. All right, and to fix that, I just had to, I did a little bit more strength work on my left side, not much, but it was just like that. It was just focusing on it, focusing on the sprint and really hitting it down with my left. Let's see if I can get another good shot of it. We can see I'm landing on that midfoot, all right, and that's because I'm getting dragged here, right? What I had to do then was then use that technique without the band. Okay, so what this is to train it. The other thing is sometimes my arms weren't in the greatest positions. I think this one, arms a fair way back. It could be a little bit more forward, but you can see how my toes are pointing up here. So my toes are up, could be a little bit more up in this one. All right, and this one actually landed a long way behind me. So you can see where my center of gravity is. If I had a line straight going down here, I actually landed behind that. If I was down a little bit more in line with that, I can actually get a better drive through this glute, through this quad. All right, and that could accelerate me, push me forward faster. Because the two things you need to run fast is, one, you need to get your limbs moving fast. Okay, so you need brain power to do that. You need to be able to get your muscles stronger to be able to do that. And then two, you need to actually have a lot of force. You need to be able to produce a lot of force in the direction you want to go. All right. So these are the two drills that really did help me out. Okay, and I know they helped out Matt, and they've helped out countless other players. Okay, and it's just as simple as, because we don't, as rugby players, you get coached from a young age. Just do your fitness work, do your sprints, but no one really takes a note of like how you're actually sprinting. Okay, and it's up to you. All right, because most people won't go and get a sprint coach, and I think a lot of people would do really well with a sprint coach. So someone they could go and see in person, they could break down their technique and do some drills with them. But that's why I put the sprint program into all my programs. Okay, and I made it a one-off now that you could buy separately. It's because I want people to be able to run better, and I know if they do, they're going to be more explosive. Right, and you're going to be faster immediately. All right, it's the quickest way. It's one of the quickest ways to gain speed if you're not running well already. Okay, so and yeah, like I said, I know a lot of people don't learn, and or they might have learned and they get injuries like ankle injuries that will stop them until they fix it. So many different things. So like if you can just work on that, work on the technique, you'll get faster. That will serve so many rugby players out there who have never learned that, never put that little bit of work into how they run, how they take off. And like I come back to, rugby is a game of power and speed. If you have those attributes, you're going to be a much better player on the field, and you're going to be much more dangerous. So if you can get faster, get into higher teams, you're going to feel better out in the field. And doing this, simple as those two drills. All right, the stomp, getting your knee up, hitting that midfoot, and then the second one, either a sled pull, not too heavy, not too much weight, just enough so you can get yourself moving, and pulling that weight. All right, if you've enjoyed this, please share this with someone that needs it. Please share it with your friends, give it a like, follow my channel, helps me out. Thank you.